We've been waiting for a while, but we're here. It's round 2 of the Renault Mégane Trophy, sponsored by Power Max Racing with NXTGEN. It is great to be in for tonight. A GC Sport update on today of all days. Decided to delay the lobby by about 15 minutes, but we are finally in the lobby. Drivers out on their first qualifying laps already. I'm JackTM53, your commentator as always in lobby 2, and I'm very much looking forward to this circuit. It's a fast flowing track, lots of action as always on this wonderful circuit, one of those created by Gran Turismo Sport director Yamauchi. So D Hartley's coming towards the line. He's going to be the first driver to set a lap time on the Italian circuit. It's a 22.5 from the Fuchs driver. Big Madaz has just come in with a 22.6, 55.8 there on a 23.2. Dominator, the championship leader, currently leads the way on the opening laps. He's 2 tenths ahead as it stands. D Hartley, Big Madaz, Chalk 12. He's in 4th place, the 55.8. He's in 5th. Shadowstalker in 6th place. There's Duds in 7th. NXTGEN Bigsy, Deskyver. Apologies needed from last week, ladies and gentlemen. I was that exhausted last week that I completely read the Zerkotech driver's name wrong for both races. It's Deskyver, not Duskovia, as I was saying last Thursday. So it's Deskyver. I hope he forgives me on that front, so he knows for the future. I was exhausted having just come home, but nevertheless he's in 9th after the opening runs. There's KZ2 Haas, he's in 10th. NXTGEN The Belt is 11th. NXTGEN Danzo is 12th. 1805 is in the lobby, but he won't be able to join unfortunately for this qualifying, so he'll be starting from the back of the grid in that Steel Seal car that he drives. In terms of the championship standings, I'm going to run through them. I know that the drivers at the moment are out on circuit, and most people would rather want me to commentate on the action. But NXTGEN Dominator, the driver we're with at the moment, he leads the championship on 41 points. He won race 1 and finished 2nd just in race 2 last week. As Dominator improves again, that's a 21.9, 4 tenths clear of D Hartley, who's in 2nd, not just on track but also in the championship too. He's on 36 points, 5 behind Dominator after getting his first win in race 2. In 3rd place in the championship, 1805, after getting his first podium. He's joint with Big Madaz, who's currently in 4th place, 55.8, with a cracking showing there in the opening few minutes. He's in 3rd place currently. But back to the championship standings, Big Madaz is joint with 1805 in 3rd on 26 points. Duds is 5th on 25 points. Chalk 12 is 6th on 21. Deskyver and NXTGEN Danzo are on 20 points each. NXTGEN Bigsy and KZ2 Haas, they're on 16 points each. They're in 9th, joint 9th currently. Shadowstalker DBS, he's in 11th place in the championship standings on 15 points. NXTGEN The Belt is 12th on 10. Greener Army 2009 is on 7 points, and the 55.8 only could do one round, and round he went at the 3rd to last corner, just clipping that apex, and then a little bit more following on from that. So the drivers have to be wary of those inside curbs. It's very, very tricky circuit, Sardegna, and sure enough, 55.8 pulls over to the side. Big Madaz now moves up to 2nd place. What can Dominator do in response? He improves again. 3 fastest laps in a row. Fantastic from Dominator, the Joyce design driver, laying down a marker tonight. So drivers have to be wary, got to be avoiding those curbs. Lots of opportunities around this circuit. It is a good track to watch on in terms of qualifying and for the race. A lot of action was here last season, a lot of bit of bumping and shuffling through what we're just going through. Turn number 4 there was quite a good action place for overtaking. Let's see if we can go on board. There's a driver just coming towards the final corner. We'll see if we can go on board with them. It's NXTGEN The Belt. So we'll pick the belt then for our qualifying lap. NXTGEN The Belt currently in 12th place, and he's going to improve on this laps, and he does go quicker. It's a 127.9, so up towards turn 1 he comes then. 142 mile an hour up over the hill, and then brakes at that 100 metre marker. Down into third gear goes NXTGEN The Belt. He's pretty much flat on the throttle coming out of it, through turn 2 and then through turn 3, which is almost completely flat for the belt. Coming towards turn 4, he's got to be on the brakes, down into 3rd gear. a progressive turn in. He's just missed the apex a little bit of the belt, but it's still a tidy lap so far. Then he's coming towards turn number 5. Again, keeps it in third gear. A couple of drivers improving on the left-hand side. That's D. Hartley and Duskive who've gone quicker as the belt finds the limit of himself there. Completely flat through turns 6 and 7. As you've got this little kink here, that is turn 7, and then on the brakes to the most difficult corner of the circuit, down potentially into second. No, the belt stays in third, keeps it nice and tidy through turn 8. Then you've got this double apex. Got to avoid this curb on the inside and then go round it in third gear, which the belt has done well. He's in turn 10, make this turn 11 now as he rotates around it. He's just going to run a little bit wide, keeps it just about in a straight line, and then down to 4th gear. No, he stays in 4th gear. Does the belt through turns 12 and 13, and then flat towards the line for the Teng Tools driver. So what will the belt set? It's going to be a little bit slower, and sure enough it is. It's 29.5, but it's Dominator who still leads the way. He should have enough time for potentially one more lap. I don't think he'll get any more than that. D. Hartley's coming towards the line. Can he improve on his lap time, close the gap on Dominator? He doesn't. He's got 2 laps to go. Does Hartley? He's got a little chance there because the timer only now is starting to tick towards the 21 that Dominator has done. And that's Duskiver moving up to 2nd place. The number 99. He drove well last week, did Duskiver. A couple of little issues that he had during the race. He had a few problems going through the chicane, but outside of that he was pretty decent. So 2nd place currently. Can he match his best results, or even better this? His best result obviously in race 2 last week. He ended up finishing in that 6th place that he got. He's only a 10th and a half off Dominator, so chances beckon for the Zerkatech driver. There's D. Hartley in 3rd, Big Mad as 4th, KZ2 Haas in 5th. KZ2 Haas admitting last week that he thought he could just show up and be quick on the pace again, and he was, but he needed a bit more practice. He admitted that. So Haas, keep an eye out on him. He's 2 tenths up at the moment. This will be his final lap time. He's got Chalk just in front of him, who's been consistently quick as Chalk, and quite pleased from his performances last week. But I think Duskiver's going to see the flag potentially. It's going to be very close as he comes towards the line. Will Duskiver get another lap in? He will, just about. So it will be Chalk who sees the flag first. It's a 22.2 from Chalk. He moves past Haas. It doesn't improve. Looking to see where the other drivers are. Shadow Stalker, he's got Duds in front of him. Duds down in 11th place. So not ideal. There's another car coming towards the line. It looks like Big Madaz coming towards the line. He was on a personal best sector, and that improves his time, but not his position. He stays 4th. Duds moves up to 10th. So that's better from him. Shadow Stalker not improving on this lap. Unfortunately for 18.05, didn't get the chance to get into qualifying. I do apologise. That's Bigsy coming towards the line, but he's on a 3:07, so he's certainly not going to improve. Who else is on a lap? That's 55.8's gone round at turn number 9. Should have put the brakes on, really, did 55.8. But Hartley, the only driver now who can stop Dominator from taking a 2nd pole position this season. Fuchs driver flicks it in to turn number 12. Through 13 he comes. Is he going to improve on his lap time? He's coming towards the line, barreling down at 140 mile an hour, but he's not improving. It is then, unless Danzo can improve on this lap now, which he's not going to, and the 55.8's already spun, it is, for the 2nd week in a row, NXTGEN Dominator 3 takes pole position with a 21.6, a fabulous effort from the Joyce Design backed car. Duskiver in 2nd place, a phenomenal effort from him, his best qualifying ever in the Méganes. There's D. Hartley in 3rd place, a good effort from him. He lines up on that 2nd row with Big Madaz in 4th. Chalk 12 is 5th. KZ2 Haas is in 6th place. The 55.8 is 7th. That's a much better qualifying from the Works driver. Couple of spins, he'll have to try and avoid that in the race. Danzo is in 8th. And then half a second gap back to Shadow Stalker. Great effort for Shadow Stalker in 9th place. That's a good showing for him. And Duds rounds out the top 10 with Big Z, The Belt, and 1805. They will start 11th, 12th, and hopefully 1805 will line up in 5th, 13th. But if he doesn't, then unfortunately, he will have to start from the back at race 2, which is very sad. So, here we are then, folks. Next Gen Dominator 3 on the right hand side in that green and yellow liveried car. Duskiver in the white and purple Zerkotech car. Watch out for Hartley and Big Maddaz on the second row. 20 minutes on the right hand side. Here come the numbers. And the race is live from Sardegna Road Track B. What a start from Haas on the third row. He's gone alongside. Going towards turn 1 they come, but Dominator 3 leads at the moment. Hartley's in second. That's going to be Haas alongside Big Maddaz, and Duskiver's gone backwards from second. Haas moves up to third place. Little bit of a bump from Haas into Hartley. That was prompted, and that's Duskiver's gone round. I nearly called him Duskiver again. He's gone round. He's managed to stay in a straight line. Chalk just hit the side of the Haas going into turn 1. Big Maddaz has now hit Haas into turn number 3. Not ideal. Big Maddaz just slots in behind. Dominator 3 already 2 seconds clear because of the shenanigans in the opening couple of corners. There's Hartley, there's Bigsy. What a start from Bigsy from 11th on the really sideways coming out of turn 5. He just about holds it. He's got a fend off from Duds as they come through turn 6 and 7. Side by side, Bigsy on the right hand side of your screen. There's Duds in that bright orange and blue fast car livery car. It's on the inside is Duds, 55-8 and Shadow Stalker side by side. There's Duskiver in the belt fighting for 10th place at the moment. Bigsy gets the move done. What about the 55-8? He does the same. The belt is in 10th. Duskiver 11th and Chalk 12 in that position. But it's Dominator 3 who leads going on to that first pass across the line. But Haas has got to watch out for the pressure now from the back of him. The 3M driver has got Hartley on the back of him, but Big Maddaz is making a challenge coming towards turn 1 as they come over that crest. Big Maddaz having to go round the outside, it's probably going to be, but he's backed out of it. Look at Hartley on the brakes, his contact. The 3 have gone through the gravel trap. Danzo's going to have an opportunity to go past here, and he takes 4th place. Hartley moves up into 2nd, and that was a bit of a push to pass, I'm afraid. I can understand why Hartley would be annoyed, but the circumstances are Haas wasn't to blame for that turn 1 incident. It was in fact Chalk who hit Haas into Hartley. So might be a steward's inquiry on that one for the time being. Look at Dominator's gap already because of the incidents. 3.6 to the good. He's just got to keep himself going for the next 17 minutes and 40 seconds. Hartley second. There's Danzo. He's having to defend now from Big Maddaz into turn number 8. He's managed to cover that line well. Bigsy's had a great start too. He's up in 6th at the moment. Might have not got the best qualifying together, but he's in the thick of it at the moment, as is Duds. There's Shadow Stalker in 8th. Chalk is 9th place, so he's gone up from 12th to 9th in the space of less than a lap since we last spoke with him. And Chalk's got that all wrong. What's happened to Chalk? Into the wall. Chalk 12, down to 10th. The belt is going to have a chance to go at the inside, and into the top 10 goes the belt, but he's having to fight side by side with Chalk 12 as they come towards that 3rd lap, starting it now. Duskiver's had another error somewhere further back. Side by side still as they come towards turn 1, and there's a bit of a squeeze going on from the belt, and necessarily need to do that. So Duskiver, he'll have to look towards race 2 as we flick through the drivers. It's Dominator 3 who leads the way. There's D Hartley, he's in 2nd. There's Haas in 3rd. Danzo's 4th. Bit of a gap for the top 3 to sort of organise themselves and get the move on that they need to do. But the trainer cars at the back of Danzo starts here for that battle for 4th place. Big Maddaz in 5th place. There's Duds in 6th. Bigsy's just dropped a little bit backwards, and Duds has got past him as well. That's Duds trying to look at the inside. He's gone round as Duds. A move that just didn't quite pay off. He's had to pay the price. He's done just well enough to get out of the way of the driver coming through there. That was the 55-8 who did well to avoid him. Duds down to 9th. And he's gone a bit sideways as well coming out of turn 10. He's going to be frustrated with that one. So Chalk the Belt and the Skyver are the cars that are behind him now. And the train has just become a two-car fight because Big Madaz has got the slipstream on the Adrian Flux car. He's going to move to the outside line. Is Big Madaz coming up to 150 mile an hour as they approach that 100 metre marker board. Down on the brakes. Danzo still on the inside of this. Danzo's on the inside. He's still got the line for turn 2 and turn 3. He's going to have that slot, which he does. Big Madaz was trying to cut back up the inside. That wasn't going to work for him because Danzo covered it well. And down into turn 4. Danzo holds his line and holds 4th place for the time being. Action-packed in the opening 5 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. Biggsy's right there too. Now, so that fight that was 2 cars becomes 3. And Hartley and Haas aren't too far apart in 2nd and 3rd at the moment. Haas looking for a first podium since his... well, since he was last in the series, which you have to go back to season 18. And he was only a part-time driver at that point. So Haas at the moment going well for him. Whether he can hold on to that is another matter. And in fact, now that I think about it, Haas only took part in 1 race in season 18. So his last podium, season 17, right the way back at Suzuka. That was 22 races ago, to put it into context. Big Madaz not as close as he was to Danzo in the lap before. Come up to 150 mile an hour on the brakes. Down into 3rd gear. Mégane drivers just shadowing one another at the moment. Speaking of shadowing, there he is in 7th. Good drive from Shadow Stalker, and you know, 123.4. You know, 1.4 off the back of Haas's best lap so far. Fastest lap of the race going to Mr. Haas in the 3M car. As Duds has got past Chalk, and the 55.8 is in 10th. I think he's had a little problem somewhere. He's still driving. I'm not sure why he's ghosted at the moment. Is he losing a lot of... it looks like he's losing a lot of time. I don't know if he's paused the game. He has, so... unfortunately for the 55.8, more problems prevailing. The Skyver's in 11th. The Belt's gone down to... and sure enough, unfortunately the 55.8 has had to retire again. So we're down to 11 drivers. And that's the end of the 55.8's night, unfortunately. Dominator, though, leads the way. He's got a half a second penalty, which is quite impressive to have picked up, considering that there's not really many places to cut on this circuit, but clears that in one go. Not a problem for him. There's Hartley. There's Haas. Danzo having to defend again from Big Madaz for this 4th place. Danzo, a seasoned veteran in these Méganes, of course. His 4th season now. Got his first podiums last season. That dramatic final lap overtake at the Nürburgring got him his first ever podium. Bit of support for Big Madaz from... I'm going to say it's Impy who's commented in the Twitch chat. So he's got the support. His fans are out there. What can he do? He's still got a lot of time still to go in this race. 12 minutes effectively. The cars and drivers probably, no doubt, will close back together a little bit more come the end of the race. Let's see where Haas is. He is closing that gap. 22 flat on lap 4. See what his lap time is this time around. As we come towards the line, he's still going to have a very faint slipstream, and that's a 22.5 this time. Hartley matches that, and Dominator's just been sat in the 22s for most of the time. Danzo closing that gap on the back. Now is Big Madaz. Tried to go round the outside, didn't quite pay off for him. But he's still there, he's stalking those rear view mirrors of Adrian Flux driver. They both run wide coming out of turn 4. Danzo's run deep, he's got it backed in a little bit. Big Madaz is trying to go up the inside, little bit of contact between the two. The Mastervolt car probably will get this move sealed and delivered. He's going to go around the outside at turn 5, completes the move. Danzo will fight back. Danzo might feel a little bit aggrieved. There was a bit of contact between the two. Didn't look like much, but it was enough just for Big Madas to open the door a little bit more. But he looked to the inside. He brakes late. He's very late, but he can't seal that move. So he stays in 5th place and loses a touch of momentum. Bigsy 6th. Shadowstalker's been catching Bigsy in that fight for 6th place, but he's joined by Duds now. He's lapping just that little bit quicker than Shadowstalker at the moment. So, can Duds get past Shadowstalker in the remaining 10 minutes? He's done well to recover from his spin earlier on lap 3. He's in the slipstream now, coming towards turn 1. He's going to go up the hill. Shadowstalker's on the outside. I don't think Shadowstalker's going to try and fight this. Sure enough, he's on the outside line. In fact, he's just clearing a penalty as Shadowstalker. I wonder if they're running wide coming out of turn 12 and 13. They're running over that grass that's there, and that's what's causing the issues. That might be what's causing that penalty, and Shadowstalker clears it now, and Duds is already a second to the good. So his next target, Duds, is Bigsy, who's in 6th place. It's been better for Bigsy. He's for once avoided trouble on the opening lap, and you know, it was well documented last season. The Hampshire driver had a lot of bad luck. He had a host of lap 1 incidents that really left him frustrated and contemplating almost leaving the league to a level. But that hasn't happened in the opening 3 rounds. He's got through it, but he's got a fight now with Duds, who is absolutely flying at the moment on circuit. 22.5. It's definitely quicker than the cars in front of him. Definitely quicker than Danzo at the moment. So with 9 minutes to go, he's got a chance, but he's got to get past Bigsy first. So he's in the slipstream, about 4 tenths back. It's going to be very difficult to make a move, but he's going to be close to at least put him under 22 flat from Duds. Fantastic effort. He's right in the slipstream. He's going to look to the inside, brakes a little bit later, does the fast car, number 77, flicks the car through, and he's up to 6th now. A little flash of the hazards just to say thank you. And off goes Duds. Absolutely flying at the moment. As Dominator's reclaimed his fastest lap now. He's got a 21.6. Has the Joyce Design car. But Duds has got 4.6 seconds between himself and Danzo. Danzo by no means a slouch in this race. He's doing 22s. But with the amount of time left, you wouldn't rule it out if Duds can keep up that level of pace. But we'll see how he gets on. Still 8 minutes, just less than 8 minutes left to go. Danzo's in 5th place, Big Madas in 4th. In that Mastervolt car. Got past Danzo, I'm sure that will have made Impy very happy in the Twitch stream. 22.2 on that last lap from the Mastervolt car. As it comes towards the next lap. It's a 22.4, so consistent times there. It's a 23 flat from Danzo. What about Duds? What time does he set? A 23.1, and that was including overtaking Bigsy. So he's got a nice gap now to Bigsy to try and build on. 24.3 last lap for Bigsy, a 24.1 for Shadowstalker. So they're setting similar laps. Chalk, he's in 9th place, 22.8. Looking very quick is Chalk. Don't rule him out for the race 2. Nor Disciver for that matter. You know, Disciver 23.1, second in qualifying. Might be taking it a little bit more easy because not much he can do. He's on his own really now with 11 seconds to Chalk in front of him and 17 to the belt behind. Just a 26.3 is his best lap, so that's encouraging from the belt. Only 2 seconds off the pace of Bigsy and Shadowstalker, so more time to find, but closing the gap to the front now is the belt. This is the second race of the season, and his best lap, Hartley's done an even quicker lap now, 21.6 is his best lap, but the gap between Hartley and Hartley's best lap, you can see belt going even quicker. Potentially a 25 on the cards. That would get the gap down to 4 seconds, which would be another improvement. Really good to see from the Tank Tools liveried car there. Dominator's still got the lead. He's 3 seconds clear. He's in the 21s. He's had to up the pace a little bit. But you just feel that the pace from Dominator's there if he needs to use it. In fact, I've just looked at the lap times there. He lost the fastest lap point at the moment by 1,000th of a second. This is absolutely superb. And Hartley and Dominator are just trading lap times at the moment. Haas can't really live with the pace, but third place would be an incredible result. He'd finish the record that he has at the moment of longest time for a driver between podiums in the Mégane series. Like I said before, 22 races it's been since his last podium in the series. Admittedly, he hasn't took part in 22 races between that time. However, that's still a big record to break, and the book will pass over to another driver. Big Madaz still doing the 22s, not an issue for him. There's Danzo in 5th. He's in the 22s as well. Duds didn't go any quicker on that lap, so I think he made a little mistake. Did the fast car? He's got 4.5 to go. It's looking unlikely now that Duds is going to catch Danzo. Looked like it could have been on before. Danzo's just done a 22.7 and Duds is a 10th slower. Now let's have a look at this fight for 7th place then, because Big Z has been in 7th for some time now after being overtaken by Duds and Danzo earlier on. Shadow Stalker closing the gap lap by lap. Only a second between them now. Chalk is also catching them. Took a second out of Shadow Stalker on that last lap. It's going to be tight to the end. These three could converge. Shadow Stalker's best time of 23.4, 1.8 off the best time set by Hartley. Peter put a comment in just earlier saying get in there. For obviously Big Madaz. Shadow Stalker's just a little bit slow there compared to Big Z. Just lost a couple of tenths. So maybe that fight's still got time to reignite. And Chalk will see that as well. He could see the gap close in Chalk. I'm sure Shadow Stalker will want to hold on to 8th place. It'd be his best result of the season if he can hang on to it. 2.8 is the gap at the moment. You can just see Big Z coming through that final corner in 4th gear. You see the different styles and lines taken by the drivers. Come towards the line. Duds is not as far ahead as I thought he was going to be. A 23.5 from Big Z then. Shadow Stalker with 23.6, so he pulled back a little bit of time in the second half of the lap because he lost about 5 tenths in the first part. And Chalk doing a 22.9, so he's to find a couple more tenths realistically. Does the Geissen driver. Discover the belt. Dominator's snatched his fastest lap back again. Potentially two more laps for Dominator 3. Once again, started at the front. He's driven away from problems behind him. And the Joyce Design driver comes onto what will be the penultimate lap for him. Hartley as well, just can't live with that consistency. Looks like a good lap though, this one from Hartley. He's going to get into the 21s, he does, but it's effectively only pulled a 10th on Dominator 3. Haas is in 3rd, just setting 22s consistently on the last 4 laps effectively. Big Madaz in 4th, there's Danzo 5th, Duds is still 6th. Shadow Stalker's up to 7th. We haven't seen what's happened to Big Z, but he's not got a good run. Coming out of turn 13. Riding on board with Chalk, this should be a pretty slam dunk move for him. Up the inside he goes, so 2 laps to go. Chalk 12, up to 8th. And the gap is 1.1 to Shadow Stalker. The fight is on for 7th place. I think Big Z, it looks like he's made a mistake. I'd hazard a guess that he's done it coming out of turn 9 and 10. Chalk setting a personal best on that last lap, and he's gained 1.5 on Shadow Stalker on that lap. 3 tenths quicker on this lap is Chalk. Can he get past Shadowstalker? He's going to be in a position to do so coming into turn 8. Shadowstalker defends to the inside. Look at the momentum Chalk has as he comes towards turn 8. Shadowstalker breaks a little bit later. Dives one up the inside. He holds his line really well. And Chalk is going to have to stay to the outside for turns 9 and 10. Can he make a lunge? He can't. Shadowstalker holding well. He's just been clipped by the front end of Chalk 12. So Shadowstalker keeping that place. Big Z will see this. He wants to get involved, but he's run wide just coming out of turn 10. He's held the car. The line's going to be crucial, and Chalk hasn't got it the way he would have wanted. Shadowstalker might just about hold on coming into this final lap, coming into turn 1 at least. I think he's going to have enough of a gap. He's not defending his Shadowstalker. He moves a little bit to the left now, but he holds his bearings for the time being. I can see where Dominator 3 is on circuit. This is now the final lap. Good run from Chalk. He's going to have a move up the inside. Duskiver sees the checkered flag, and Chalk goes through up to 7th. Right on this final lap. Big Z looking for a move up the inside. He's shown his nose. Shadowstalker's left the door open, and Big Z's going to have that position. He takes 8th place, so from 7th to 9th goes Shadowstalker, but he's not giving up now. He has to back out of it. I'm going to cut back to the Dominator 3 though. I know there's a big fight going on, but we do need to see the race winner just coming up to the back of the belt, but he won't lap him in time. It's going to be second race of the season, second race victory for Dominator 3. Great result for him. Brilliant performance. D Hartley takes 2nd place. KZ2 Haas takes his 3rd place. It's his first podium in 22 races. Great performance from him. Big Madaz is just about going to hold on to 4th from Danzo, who does a big slide across the line in 5th. Duds is in 6th place. He's going to cross the line. Chalk is going to hold on for 7th. He's gone up 2 places on this final lap. Big Z, I think he's going to have enough of a momentum to stay ahead of Shadowstalker. And that is the end of race 1. What a great fight that was in the end for 7th place, but congratulations to Dominator 3. 2nd win this season. The Grand Kellum as well, pole position, fastest lap, and he led every single lap. What a phenomenal drive from him. So that's the end of race 1. This is also the end of the race 1 stream. I'm going to stop the stream. I will restart it in a few moments time, so tune in very, very shortly.